Trudy Appleby, the community knows her as the girl that disappeared.
She was just a little girl. She's not just a statistic.
For the last 25 years, her story has been told over and over again in the news, over social media, by word of mouth, engraving her name in the community. But to those that knew her, she was a daughter, a best friend, family.
I wanted to make more memories with her, that's for sure.
She's dearly, dearly missed.
Friends and family say 11-year-old Trudy had a skip in her step.
Very outgoing, very taken lively, wasn't afraid of too much.
My mom found her in our yard. She asked her, can I help you? And she said, my name is Trudy, you got any kids I could play with? My mom sent me outside and we became best friends.
She was a fast fixture here from that day on. She was like my other kid. She was over here all the time.
The last time Kelly and Amber saw Trudy was the night before she disappeared, on August 20th, 1996, and everything seemed fine.
It was just another typical Trudy visit. They had hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, they rollerbladed out front. She was talking to me about school.
Before her disappearance, Dennis says Trudy was invited to go swimming on Cambell's Island with a friend she knew through his associations.
Dennis used to do CB radio a lot, and it was kind of a CB radio group of friends.
Dennis said no because of an important trip they were taking.
We were leaving the next day. She had things she had to get done. She had to finish packing her clothes and get her stuff ready. The very next day, we were leaving to head out west.
So Trudy decided to stick close to home and play with Amber instead.
She said, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll talk to you in the morning, Amber, and I'll see all you guys tomorrow.
But she never showed up. On August 21st, 1996, Dennis went to work early in the morning and saw Trudy sleeping before he left. But then he came home at lunchtime and she wasn't there.
And I brought lunch home, had it sitting there on the table, left a note. I thought at first that she was with her mom. I tried and get a hold of them, and it was about 7 o'clock that night that I called the Moline PD and said, we got a problem.
Trudy was seen by a neighbor in a car that morning with a white man in his 20s, long, dark brown curly hair and a ball cap, headed down the street.
She was at this residence right here, and she looked out her back window and saw Trudy in the vehicle coming down this driveway right here. And that's where Trudy Appleby resided at the time.
That was all the information the public had until 2017, when police named Smith a person of interest in the investigation. In 2020, police also named Whipple and Fisher as persons of interest. Police and friends say Dennis was associated to them through his use of CB radio, a communication device truckers used to talk to each other. And police also say Whipple gave a statement a few years after Trudy went missing, claiming to have seen her in Smith's car driving towards his home. Police say that while no arrests have been made, they continue to work the case in the hopes that one day they will bring her justice.
I think Trudy was lured into going swimming. They convinced her that her dad said it was all right, and she was going to go swimming with a friend.
This is the area where Trudy Appleby was last seen. Over to the right here is a vacant lot where Dave Whipple's house used to be. And over to the left here is where Ed Smith used to reside.
Our theory is that she was victimized as a result of sexual criminal misconduct at the hands of adult males.
Smith died in 2014, but Whipple and Fisher remained in the area. I decided to ask them about the case myself. Fisher is currently serving in prison in Iowa on unrelated charges. I asked him if he had anything to do with Trudy's disappearance. He wrote back, not answering the question, and instead stating he and Smith hated each other. I went to Whipple's home to talk to him.
Are you Dave Whipple?
I am.
I just want your side of the story. You've been named it.
Well, he didn't want to talk on camera. He had a conversation with me. I asked him if he had anything to do with Trudy's disappearance, and he said no. He told me that he saw what he thought to be Trudy and Smith go to Ed's home to get life jackets. When I asked him if he thought Smith was involved, he said that he did, but he never asked him about it because he claims he and Smith didn't get along. And as for Fisher, Whipple said he never hung out around him. Police say Whipple told them about Smith and Trudy in the early 2000s.
We know from witness accounts that Ed Smith talked about it with people, talked about what possibly transpired.
Griffin says witnesses have come forward through the years with information about what happened.
There's people here that know what happened that day, people that know that Jamison Fisher has told them, what Ed Smith told them, what Dave Whipple has told them. They know what has been said since 1996.
But others, who may have the information to solve the case, have not yet come forward.
Those that know, that harbor these secrets, they need to come forward. It's been 25 years. What are you afraid of?
They should have the decency to finally tell somebody where we can find her so that we can bring her home and bury her, because that is what we need to do.
In 2018, police found the boat where they believe Trudy was last seen.
We believe she was taken on a boat that day. We've had numerous eyewitness reports that she's on a boat with some of the people that we've named.
DNA swabs have been sent to the FBI for analysis, but it may be a few years before we find out what they find.
It's going to take some time. There was 400 to 500 swabs taken off that boat, and each one of those has to be individually analyzed for DNA.
In the meantime, Trudy's family still has hope someone will speak up.
25 years ago, you had a choice to tell us information. You still have that choice. Change that choice to tell us.
25 years later, I mean, I would have never suspected that we'd be here, but 25 years later, here we are.